You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I'm back. Rhodes Rants for Black and White Sports. We're going to talk about the Washington Redskins. That's right. The Washington Redskins. Look, they're always going to be the Redskins to me, as far as I'm concerned. Right? Joe Theismann, his flopping around broken leg. Riggins, the Hogs. Yeah, Joe Gibbs. Legendary team. Legendary football team. But as we know, the SJWs came after them last year. That's right. They decided the Redskins name was offensive. Offensive to a very minute portion of Twitter, evidently. But as we know that thimble-sized portion of the Twitter population is enough to literally get a football team to change its name. If they would quit bowing to these assholes, they would not have to change names. Look, they say the time limit you got to make it before you apologize or not apologize or whatever you're going to do is 36 hours. If the Redskins would have sat back and ignored these a-holes for 36 hours, it would have been over. The shitstorm would have been over, and they'd have brought it up 3 months later, and they could have just ignored it again. But no, they bent the knee. They named their team a ridiculous Washington football team, and so many Redskins fans went, what the F? Well, now the Redskins, and this is breaking news, they just released a list of proposed potential names out to season ticket holders. And before we get to this story very quickly, let me share our website, blackandwhitenetwork.com. Make sure you go over there to get, we got bronze and silver memberships available. And there you get exclusive access to joint live streams with myself and John Matrixx together, Hodge Twin style, exclusive live streams. And if you're a silver member, you can be in on a live stream panel with myself and Mr. Matrixx. And let's face it, you guys are the ones that run this network. So we'll talk about probably whatever in the hell you want to talk about. So we will see. That will be coming in probably the next 2 weeks. We will have our first live stream over there. Now let's talk about this ridiculous story involving the Washington football team from Fox News. Washington football team sends survey to season ticket holders for feedback on more than 30 potential names. Good God. The Washington Redskins, and I will give you some suggestions. After we're done with this article, I'll tell you a few potential names that might not offend anybody. Washington football team has maintained that fans will play a big role in the organization's new identity. Is that gender identity? And this week, sent out an email to season ticket holders with more than 30 names to weigh in on. Team president Jason Wright said in March the current name would remain the same until 2022, although he noted that fans have, quote, warmed up to it as a possible permanent fixture. But in its latest letter, fans were given a small selection to provide feedback on. Quote, to each of you will be shown a small selection from a broader pool of brainstormed names that we're getting early feedback on. Wright's letter read, quote, please note this is not a vote for a name, but instead an opportunity to capture insights and perspective that will be so important to the next phase of our rebrand journey. Let me guess, you're trying to gauge whether or not anybody is offended by these names. Each email surveyed contained a variation of 10 names from a list of 30 CBS Sports reports. Some of the names included Aces, Demon Cats, Guardians, Red Tails, Warriors, football team. Okay. Washington Wild Hogs, Riders, Washington Capital City Football Club. Okay, they're a soccer team now. Washington Red Wolves, Aviators, Wayfarers. Wayfarer, you've got what I need. My God. Washington Ambassadors, the Washington Peter Griffins. Is that a joke? The Washington Warriors, Armada, Rising, Swifts, Commanders, Pilots, Rubies? That is terrible. Quote, among our many priorities over the next year, one of the most pivotal is our project to develop a new name, logo, and identity for our franchise. As I've said before, this is an effort that we want to take the time to get right, and it means going through a deliberate process that gathers input from our fans and others. We want input from people other than our fans. Why? And others to design a new brand that represents the values and interests of our broader Washington community. That is virtue signaling for we do not want to make anybody else mad on Twitter. Ridiculous. Okay, so I've got a few potential suggestions for the Washington Wokeskins. Number one, how about the Washington Safe Spaces? Would that be good? Is that safe? The Washington non-binaries. Anybody? Is that good? The Washington Snowflakes. That would probably offend somebody, I'm sure. The Washington Male Feminist. Anybody? Is that good? I don't know if you can attract many free agents if your club is named the Male Feminist. But hell, who knows? Are you there, Dan Snyder? Are you listening to me? Can you pause your regularly scheduled harassment? Alleged harassment to get back to us on potential Washington football team names. This is ridiculous. If Washington would have just held out for the 36-hour time period that it takes to get past their latest run at being canceled, this is ridiculous. I've said before when we've done these videos on the Seminoles, the Indians, any of these entities, the Braves, and look, these videos happen about every 6 weeks. This comes up again involving Native Americans. We've got a very large Native American subscriber base. My girlfriend is in large part Native American. You know what she doesn't give a shit about? These team names. She is not offended. Because she is not ridiculous. That's why. She is not offended by every little thing. She could care less about a sports team name. In fact, there are Native Americans actually out there offended by the fact that this stuff is getting changed and canceled, if you want to know the truth. In many cases, this has actually backfired with many in the Native American community, but the mainstream media and your woke leftists out there don't want you to know that. Tell me what you think, black and white sports fans. I'm leaning towards the Washington Male Feminist. I think that might be a good one. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.